Hello and welcome to episode 9 of our Timberborn 1.0 experimental playthrough with the Folktales faction in cycle 16, day 13. Got about half a day left until we have our drought resume here. And we have a lot of stuff to do, lots of things to tackle, but we'll get to them one piece at a time. Very first thing. Yes, these 3 scavenger flags are what the nothing to do in range were, so get rid of those. And those beavers can go do whatever they want, and that takes care of that problem. But we now have to decide is, what are we going to do about scrap metal? We have 1,000 metal blocks, which, hey, that's a whole lot, and that should be fine for quite some time. But we do need to eventually figure that out. We have an underground room section over here, which is honestly probably in zipline range if I just put a single pylon here and then maybe a station up here. Should be achievable. We also have another one over in this corner. Basically all 4 corners of the map have one. There's one here, and then there should be another one right about well, somewhere over here. Is it hidden? I always forget where stuff is. Oh, here it is. It is behind all of these ruins pieces. So that's something that we can get into at some point. This currently, like I said, is the closest one. So that's probably what's going to make the most sense for us to do. Also, would be a very good time to do that because there's not going to be any bad water over here. It's going to go away. So we'll get there in a little bit. But we also apparently do not have all of these trees marked for cutting. So yeah, there's a few of these that slipped through the cracks because it's very hard to see what you've already marked when the trees are not built yet. You can see here it just turns into a gray mess and you can't really tell what you've already clicked on. So that's fine. That's marked now. We're all good. These are all paused because we didn't have a need for all of that wood. But now we have extra storage, and we have 9 beavers who are not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpause all of these lumberjack flags, let these guys get to work cutting trees down. And they can replant trees, so on and so forth. You know how it goes. Other stuff, well, not a whole bunch of you, but several of you at least, have said that I need to pick up all of the debris on the ground. Well, I hate to say it, but there's not a whole lot of space for a lot of that to go. And this is currently inaccessible land because of how the tunnel stuff works. It'll probably get picked up eventually, but I don't need to go out of my way to, derail everything just to pick that stuff up. We're not even going to look at it. So we're just going to move on, at least for right now. I want to see how far I can get with the zipline pylon. Okay, so that's too far. Okay, that fits. So we can go there. Get that marked. I need to give them a way to get over here. Get around. Yeah, and then I need to figure out what my range is from this. Okay, so I might have been slightly wrong about the range here. Getting across here probably is not a bad idea. But this is far enough over here. I think it might behoove us, for the sake of future planning, to just go ahead and put a zipline station in over here in case we need it later. And this, from here to here, shouldn't be that big of an issue. But how far away can I get? Yeah, that's... I don't know. I might want to just have this here in this corner just so it makes a little bit more sense. What's the distance on this? 28 meters. Okay. Well, that's probably fine. This is one area where I really think that the tubeways are superior. Is that you don't have to go all the way out to start building tubeways. You can just build tubeways from within tubeways. But I don't know. I guess I can appreciate the approach that you take with these things. And like I said, this is bad water. When it's not bad water, it's going to be a whole lot safer for our beavers to get across here because we don't have the herbalist research, which is what gives the antidote. Also we have not done is we have these large windmills that would be a much better solution for power because we're about to lose all of our water flow for however long this drought ends up being. How long is that going to be? 7 days. So, yeah, we're only about to have the 400 HP from here, 400 HP from here, and then whenever the wind decides to blow, we have this, this, and this. And aside from that, that's basically it. Now, we do have gravity batteries, and they are pretty good gravity batteries. In fact, I've got another thing of dynamite to do. I think that's as far down as that can go. Oh, come on. There we go. Yep. So these have a capacity of 32,000. We will see. We will see what ends up happening here, what makes sense, but I'm not going to spend all of my time investing energy into that. So yeah, look at these guys go. They're going to extend the zipline. Of course, they have to, you know, walk all the materials out there. Now that we have a drought, we should see this within a little bit of time. Yeah, see, there it goes. All disappear. Not that it really matters that much, to be perfectly honest with you, but easy thing to do. Just get this going all the way across. And we do have to send the beavers up here. I will put this here just because I can. I do love the spiral staircase. I think it is one of the best things they've ever added to this game. And we'll do the same kind of thing here. Just hit that flip again. Come on, there we go. Then I have to figure out what the range is going to be. Hey, you know what? That's not bad. How do I want to do this? So if I have the mine start there, how many more do I have to go back? Okay, so this will get me directly connected there, and then I could have a... yeah, okay, this will work. Put a zip line there, put a zip line there. I'm going to go ahead and research the mine, because I have 13,000 science. And this is going to require 200 treated planks and 350 gears. We basically have the treated planks. We don't have the gears. That's something we will work on improving in due time. But yeah, they're going to build this. Then to build this, this probably should be a slightly lower priority. That should be doable. But we need to address this, because this was a very, very early setup that I've already said many different ways I am not happy with. I don't think it's very good. And, you know, we do have the ability to fix it, or just completely redo it. Remember that we have our power running all the way underneath here. And we have this coming out this side. It would not be that hard for us to tunnel into here, and then just do a connection into this mess right here. Depending on how we want to organize things. Is that going to fit? That does fit. Does that? Okay. So if that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. That is... I'm obviously not leaving those in there, but that will work. That will, in fact, work. Let's get this peeled back a little bit more. I believe what I will do is put a tunnel in here. Remember that these are automatically adaptive since Update 7. So I can just stick a thing here, 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 and then that'll connect to that bit. Right now we have, I guess, just these two gear workshops. We only have 2 of the lumber build things. So every 1.3 hours, these make 1 plank. Every 3 hours, these consume 1 plank to make 1 gear. So I think a good goal for us to hit right now would be 2 gears per hour. 1 gear per hour requires 3 of these gear workshops. 2 gears per hour requires 6. So, if we have 6 of these buildings, then basically every... I hope I'm doing this math. I'm going to get absolutely annihilated in the comments over this. I just know it happens every time. I'm not good at math. But anyway, these are the same number. 1 equals 1. I do know that much. So we have to be able to supply every hour 6 planks. And how we get there is we just have to, you know, figure out what 1.3 hours worth of 1 plank turns into. So I suppose we probably should be making at least 6 planks per hour. Ideally 7 or 8, because we're going to need them for other things and the treated planks as well. So if anyway, all this to say, if I set the goal to have 6 gear workshops, then we just work backwards from there. I can put 3 of these right next to each other. I can put another 2 here. I can put another 2 of something else here. I would like it to look not completely terrible, is more or less what I'm getting at. And because we can bury all of these power lines and everything, and we do have them going underground, we don't have to be married to just having these power shafts going absolutely everywhere. So what I think I would like to do, take gear workshop here, here, and here. And then that gives us 3. And if I have a lumber mill here and here, and then another one here and here, then that gives us a little bit of an inset area. Just right here. Thank you, autosave, for doing your thing that you always do. And then I can just have this connect this way, this connect this way. Obviously, we need to have the tunnel actually completed, so I should probably get this connected here. The reason I'm not building this path straight across is because I'm going to put other buildings on this side when we get there. It all does just take time. We're working on it, though. Get this back up. We are, yeah, we're in the process of getting this zipline station finished. I'm actually going to pause construction on the mine for right now because I don't want to use all of my gears all at once. Or logs. Oh, I have 2,000 logs. Well, I guess now it's an issue if I don't want to use all the beaver labor before we have everything else kind of fixed. So this is all done. This looks like it has been complete. Ah, no, they haven't done the other two. Okay, I'm glad I checked. I love they can just reach through the corner of a block and not even have to worry about it. That is absolutely hilarious. Let's get that power shaft complete. And then I can put the other one in, and we should be looking a little bit better. Get that in there. And then I need to decide how I'm going to get power across here. Remember I talked about having the tunnels and stuff. But this goes down here on this level 2. And when it comes around here, it comes to this side. So I think what might make sense is right here. I don't have my coordinate mod enabled, but this spot right here, if I just blast this down, how many levels? Let's see, one there. Oh, that's it. Yeah, one there, and then I can just replace this with a vertical, and then we can have this connect to the bottom of a building. It might look, hopefully, slightly better. And I've got this single power shaft here that can get taken care of. And then they can start with the lumber mills. I believe I should be fine if I build 8 lumber mills. That should give us a little bit extra. So if I have this here and here, and I blast that down, beaver boom, nobody get exploded, good job. Turn this into a vertical power shaft, another vertical power shaft, and then I can put buildings on top of it. So I think you can already see where this is going here. I would like to kind of stagger these. Here, 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 and here. And then because of how this is set up, bring this in this way. So I've got space in the middle. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I just thought it would look nice if the little bit of symmetry was there. So now I've got, once this is done, I have 6 gear workshops and I have 8 lumber mills. And they're all connected power-wise once that's finished, because that connects to there, and then that connects to the backside, and everything's all hunky-dory. It looks better than this, and that is basically my only requirement. So now what we need to do is we need to have storage available, which I had a couple of ideas for what to do here, and I will ask that you bear with me while I'm attempting to explain them. But we have these overhangs here, right? So what if I took from the middle here, because remember, we have these spiral staircases. I'm going to pause so I can actually, you know, retain my sanity. But if I were to do overhangs here, what I could do is I could have on either side easy ups, and then I have space in the middle for something else or decorations. I don't know. But then on top of that, we have these metal platforms. I'm going to need a little bit more height here, huh? Okay, well, instead of the 2x1s, I can research all these anyway, it doesn't matter. Take my 2x here, and then on that, if I were to put a 3x3, I'll tell you what, actually, no. No. I can be intelligent. I don't have to be stupid. If I put that there, then I have space on top to either, I can't put an underground pile, obviously, but I could put a large pile, or I could put a large warehouse on top of here. Or I could say, you know what, that looks completely stupid and ridiculous, and you should never build anything like that. And then I just don't. I'm not going to commit to anything super long-term now, but if you like that idea, let me know. If you're not, then, well, also let me know, because you know that's the whole point of doing this way. But most important thing is this is operating. I know it's funny that I did this in a drought where we're not making much power anyway, but is what it is. So this now does not matter to have all of this here. This vertical power shaft, I believe, was just connecting those buildings. Yeah, so that doesn't need to stay. That can go there. That can go there. And I could just build storage into the back of this and just say, you know what, it's good enough. But I would want to use underground storages for everything I can, and I can't put those here. Can't really put them here either. I know I have these things right here. It's fine, but assuming this is all that we're going to need for the time being, at least for this area, if we're going to commit to that, then I think I would be mostly justified doing this the way I was already going to do it. So, all that being said, I need to just... Oh, that sound. So many sounds. I just need to have space up here to actually build storage. So, gears. I could have 2 medium warehouses, or I could have 2 large warehouses, depending on how I want to do it. If I blast this out, get myself a double dynamite there, and then a single dynamite here. I know they can't actually reach this. I don't have any of those bridges unlocked. I guess it doesn't really matter. Again, we have tons of science. It shouldn't be an issue. Give myself a 4x1 suspension bridge just to get across to that. Hit B for boom. Yeah, if I just say, you know what, I want the 4x1. Boy, oh boy, is that ugly, but guess what? It works. And you know our deal. If it's ugly and it works, then it's fine. So now we have a large warehouse. We are going to want to have a lot of gears, especially if we're going to get into bots later, which I haven't fully committed to yet, but more of you seem to want to do that than not. So I guess I could just let that be what it's going to be. Better idea. Better idea. Stop building... Nope, I absolutely cannot do it the way I thought I was going to do it. Never mind. Other people would cut that out and act like they're smart. I am not other people. So, business as usual, I suppose. But this actually, if I wanted to just do that same kind of thing on this other side, I could kind of mirror this with some spiral stairs going up to the middle. I don't really have any reason to get up on this middle bit anyway. So I could just do this. There we go. Could do one of those. I could do this straight out of here. Probably not the worst thing ever to just have that come up like that. I am attempting to make things look decent. I recognize that I am decidedly not a master builder. But it might look cool anyway. Who knows? So, large warehouse. Oh, I didn't set this to gears. We're also going to need to make paper, which is another one of the reasons that I wanted to make these warehouse storages here. So, 8 of these, 6 of those, even though that one's hidden. Then I can conveniently, next to most of this, put in paper mills. And I think... Oh, look at that. Look how perfect that is. Put in... Let's just start with 2 of those. We can always expand later if we want. But the paper mills, every 1.6 hours, create 2 sheets of paper. What do you use paper for besides windmills? Well, you use it for books or punch cards. So every 1.5 hours, you consume 1 sheet of paper to make 1 book. And every 1.6 hours, this makes 2 sheets of paper. So 1 paper mill cannot quite fulfill 2 printing presses worth of demand. But 2 printing presses in 1.6 hours will make you 4 sheets of paper. And in 1.6 hours, you can then, with 2 paper mills, have enough paper to make 3 books. And then you just have a little bit of leftover stuff. Or you can make 2 books, and then you can make a set of punch cards. Actually, no, I got that backwards because it's 2... I hate math. It's 2 sheets of paper every 0.75. I wish they just standardized this to the hour. My God. Anyway, You get what I'm saying. It's a process. And I think if I say it again, people are going to come shoot me. So we'll move on. Get that connected all the way through here. And I know I've got other space on this side that I should also get these guys working on. So, again, not, you know, permanently wedded to this. If you think it's absolutely horrendous or whatever, just let me know and I might change it. But, oh, that's not in range. Okay, now that should be in range. But this gives us the ability to... I have to zoom out. It gives us the ability to store a decent amount of stuff. Let's just do... I really shouldn't have 2,400 gears storage. Especially because this is only going to use 2,000, and that's going to encourage extra material usage. I don't know, but if we get into bots, we're gonna go through gears like gangbusters. It's gonna be nuts. So I'll do it. I'll just overbuild because that's what's available. No rule against it. Yeah, so gears and paper, one on each side. You know, it's usage of the space. It's fine. It is what it is. So there we go. We have symmetrical industrial area that we absolutely cannot power. But we have the ability to change that. We can put any number of things, wind farms, additional stuff, wherever. We can even bury them underground. If we had a big cavern or something, which we don't currently. But it's fine. This is all the way down. Not quite, but it's getting there. Yeah, we just need to make more power, man. We need to make more power, and then at least one or two of you left a comment about coming up here and trying to do something with this. We do have an aquifer here. We have another one of these things here. We got one of these here. There's somewhere else there was two of these right next to each other. We got that one there. We got that one there. What else? Well, I think my main problem is there's not enough straight stuff for me to just put water wheels down and call it a day. It makes me think about it. What a horrible fate. Anyway, we do have the ability, and I saw a really good design in the Discord for this, where there's an aquifer drill, and then on top of it, depending on how this was set up, there were a couple different versions of this, but I think the one I saw first that I really liked had some platforms and overhangs and stuff with the gravity batteries coming off the top of that, and then everything to power the aquifer by itself. That doesn't help us for other things, but it does get this to be basically completely self-fulfilling all the time. Looks pretty cool, or at least better than I would have thought. I don't know if that's something we really need to work out quite yet. Remember, part of the reason why I built this was so that I could make additional paper. So, when we have paper, we can make large windmills. Go ahead and research those. We could, I'm not going to say super easily, but it wouldn't be debilitatingly difficult to put in windmills. Like, I could put one right here. I could put one right here. And that honestly would not look too bad. And that would give us an extra 600 HP when those are actually turning. And then they'd already be connected to the grid. We wouldn't have to worry about it. And that would just, it would be a step. Whether or not it's a great one, I don't know. Be the judge of that if you want. But it's a step. We need maple trees. We're going to need a ton of them eventually. That'll help fill that in. Get those pines in place. Ah, there's a oak tree. Well, let's get rid of that oak tree. Make sure these are unmarked for cutting, because we're not going to be cutting any of these down. And I did say something about these oak trees probably not needing to be there. We haven't run out of wood yet. But I also don't have anything I want to replace this with. I know we have to redo food at some point. I'm not worried about it. We've got other fish to fry, so to speak. But this is also up here a good opportunity for us to do another little greening space. We have 3 blocks wide here. If I wanted to turn this into another irrigation station, it would not be super difficult. And I think what would make the most sense is for me to take this corner out and then just build out like this, the same kind of thing we'd already been doing. Give ourselves a platform. How did I have this one set up? Because that had a forester on it. We don't really need to grow any more trees over here. So what might make the most sense and give us a little bit more of a leg up if I put a fluid dump here and then put a tank here. Set that, of course, for water storage. Get these connected and then do one of these numbers. Yeah, I think that's just going to be easiest. Get that set up right there so that this can all be irrigated. And, you know, we could plant other trees up here. We do have a forester right there. And then these stairs would give us some access to this, you can already see. And I obviously could move this pile somewhere else if I really wanted to. It just depends on how I want to have this set up. Yeah, because it has to have somewhere else to go. Well, if I'm going to use all this space, I might as well make it an underground pile. Then I have to have somewhere for the lumberjack flags to go. So many choices, so little time. Well, I'm going to put a staircase here, because that is going to make it much easier for us to get where we want to go. I guess I can put in... Yeah, there's really not a great way to do this, unless I were to put in a platform here. I'm not really in love with this. Not like it really matters anyway, but I think it's nice to have access to things. That would go... I guess it would probably be best if it was just up on top of maybe this. Yeah, because this is already kind of space we can't use that much of. Good. 2 there. I've already got the 3. I guess I could just put something like this. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which 6, 7. Yeah, that's probably fine. It's still in triple speed. Yeah, all right. No, we're still consuming more power than we're producing. I've got to... Oh, I didn't put my pathways in. Yeah, once these are operating, then we'll be in pretty good shape power-wise. Obviously, overnight is a completely different story. See, I know I just need to build a whole bunch of these things absolutely everywhere. Just, I hate how ugly they look when they're not organized. And it is a bit of a challenge to get this in the right spot. I could put a bunch more over here, because this is all connected. And this should... I could put one there. I could put one there. So it could go that one, and that one. Let's do that. Let's do that. I will take those out. And there we go. That should help a lot. Is it beautiful? No. But it is organized, kind of. It'll be better than nothing. Yeah, I gave him a lot of stuff to do. I guess this is fine. This is, yes, begging for a zipway. There you go. Time to go to bed. Zipline station, not a tubeway, not a zipway, whatever a zipway even is. You know what might actually work nicely here, as kind of a combo thing, is if I were to slightly rearrange this. Take that out. I don't think there's anyone in there anyway. And then in this area right here, because this is how it is set up, what if I were to put a zipline station? I know this is close to this one too, it's fine. But if I were to put a zipline station right here, and then with that I could put in... Oh, come on, autosave. Put in one of these. That's the wrong way. There we go. And then to get down here, I have to have some sort of a 3-tile solution. Well, if I just have regular stairs on the end, what I could do is that would have to be a double. Hey, okay, you know what? I don't hate that at all. And that could be zipline connection for industry and the observatory. I just have to figure out what this would end up connecting to, because right now it's all, well, for the most part, it's a single line. It's not connected to a pathway. Now it is. Okay, is this... Oh, that hasn't been blown up. That should... There it goes. That takes care of most of the rest of this. If I were able to put dirt in here, then that would solve that problem, but we haven't gotten dirt yet. I know I've said that multiple times, and I probably should just build a dirt extractor. But I think it's fine. Yeah, we're gonna end up using this wood eventually anyway. I'll leave that open for another one of these things. I'm just gonna do it. I'll just plant it all. Why not? Why not? Make sure that's all marked for cutting. It's a whole lot easier to just do an entire level without having to do cutouts or any of that mess. We get everything. Looks like we did. That'll keep this guy busy at least. And we do have these. Okay, see, we're making some quantity of power. Seems to be fine. So, yeah, I just have to figure out where this is going to get connected. Let's see, at the expense of maybe some of our design. Oh, you know what I should have done is I should have checked distances here. This... Okay, but that's exactly 30 meters. And then this would be... Oh, would be too far. What a shame. It would also run into this. But if I moved this to instead be here, then would that end up being too far? Okay, let's... Is this another drought thing? Let's see. Oh, it's not going to tell me if it's already got something connected. So, we have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I already lost count. Forget it. But that's 10 there. 20. So we already know this is in line with this. I just need to know how many more blocks of this I can move. I can also just... Oh, that's the wrong one. Whatever. Just check this. That is... Oh, it's exactly 30. Oh, come on. Well... Maybe I just need to have another station in the middle anyway. Because I know I wanted to have something else here. That would be in range of both of those. That would also take that guy out of the equation, but there's not really a reason for that one to be there if this one is here. You know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna build that one. Then this obviously gets connected there, but then this one goes away. This connects to here. This connects to here. Again, I wish these stations had more than 2 connections, so it would make it so much easier. So much easier. Get that connected there. I know we haven't really done too much with that, but that will that'll help the process along slowly. Boy, I gave these guys a whole bunch of stuff to do. I don't feel like it's enough for a time lapse, but I might just do that anyway. Just time lapse a little bit because I know there is some construction they haven't quite gotten done yet. So we'll do that just real quick. It won't be a super long one, and then I will catch you afterwards. Alright, so they finally got these things done. It's time to disconnect, and yes, this, the beavers will just kind of, fall out of the sky. But it's easily reconnected. All the way here. No, not to there, not to there. What are you doing? Stop that. There you go. To here, and to here. And then this one goes bye-bye. Cool! So now we have here, to here, to here, to here, and now we have decent industrial connection. And to the housing, and to the housing again. And then over here, to over here, to over here, to here, which is our next thing that we have to build. So let's unpause that. Let them continue working on those. Now that we've made a whole bunch of gears, we have production just massively increased. And I do need to see, yes, these are working. We're still not making enough power during a drought. Color me surprised. So that is something we're going to have to improve. You know what I should have done is I should have made these vertical power shafts. I do want to, because I think I've done this before. Yeah. Yeah, I can do this. Can I do it with a large one? I can. I can. Am I going to be able to fit this here? I don't want them to accidentally build this, but I do need to see. No, that doesn't fit. That's okay. Well, I also could just, get rid of this. Anyway. Point being, it is not difficult to replace these things here, especially since there's no power coming through them. I can take all of these out at once, and I can put all of these in at once. Is it beautiful? No. Does it generate extra power? Absolutely. And I think that is worth pursuing. Almost always. So they can build that. We have materials, or we should. And you know what? Things are looking pretty good. This is something. Now we come over here to the mine. Let's get this back on triple speed. We need to get this directly connected. And the mine, for the folktales, we access the recipe. There's a single recipe, and it takes treated planks, and it makes 5 scrap metal. These really are not very efficient for the folktales, but that's also kind of the point, right? So, conveniently, this means that we can fully service this mine with a single pair of underground piles. One for treated planks, and the other one for the scrap metal that it produces. And it's right next to the zipline station, which can go woo all the way over here, sound effects included, to our smelter, which is now honestly kind of far away. So now, see, now I've got ideas, and this is a problem because I'm gonna want to make stuff. And if we're gonna try to do stuff that doesn't look completely stupid, let's see, 5. See, here we go with this hour thing again. 1.8 hours, you get 5 scrap metal. Let's call it 2 hours and just say it's still 5. How convenient! We can feed 2.5 smelters with this. Do I want to tempt fate here? Now I could. Yeah, you know what? Let's reconfigure this. Let's instead put the path up to here, because I think it's worth making something that doesn't look completely stupid, right? Just put that next to it, and then I've got space for a couple of piles here. If I do 2, and I can do 2 more here, then I've got a nice wide space. And I guess it doesn't really matter now, does it? Let's just do 2 for regular metal, 1 for scrap metal, and 1 for that. That's fine. Now I just have to power this mess, which, the way this is set up, probably is going to just need some gravity batteries. This is the very edge of the map. I bet I could do some shenanigans here. I know I can't tunnel underneath this, but I'm very, very interested in trying to hide power shafts whenever I can. So if I have these connect under here, and then I can minimize the ugliness by putting gravity batteries on the back side of this, and then have these go all the way down, and then I could have some windmills. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's be very careful to actually, do this somewhat logically. I know there's at least a couple of you out there that are saying, stop overcomplicating this, just do it. I hear you. I hear you. But I am stubborn sometimes. So that's what I'll do is I'll dig this tunnel. Then that'll bring it up underneath here, and then all I have to do is just for the sake of figuring this out. If I did that, then I put a... Okay, that can't go right next to it. That can. I don't know that I'm ever going to need to have more than 2 smelters here. It's possible I could justify 3, but That wouldn't look very nice now, would it? I also, if I really wanted to go nightmare mode here, I guess I could go... Ah, that's not going to work. Never mind. Nope, I will not tolerate the ugly. What I could do... Oh, now... And see, now I'm getting into some really, really stupid out-of-pocket stuff. But I would like to try... See, if I make a tunnel here... I don't even have to actually make this a tunnel. This one doesn't have to be a tunnel either. This can actually be double dynamite because I don't need to dig a tunnel if it's not going to be buried under something. Okay, so that I know I can bury the what do you call it, down one level. Not like 90% sure. If I did that, I'd have to make it a double. There and there. And then yes, folks, I can tunnel underneath. I know this is just so unbelievably extra for no reason. But it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool if it works. Yeah, so all I have to do is just connect that. Put a power shaft in there, which means I'm going to have to get a beaver down in that. But I think it's going to be worth it not to see any of the power shafts. I think it's going to be worth it. Who got stranded? Okay, who's dumb? How? Okay, you know what? I shouldn't yell at you. 1, you're a child. 2, you probably fell off the zip line. Oh, and you're about to die from hunger. I don't know that we can save you. Okay, ultimate priority now. Save the children, save the world, etc. Build this. Oh, you fools! Well, we don't need those stairs anymore. It's not a good omen for the rest of this campaign, I suppose. Anyway, so let's focus on our more happy times, shall we? I think that's worth celebrating. All right, so I've got to get these beavers down here because somebody decided that would be a smart choice. And I don't have terraforming. This is like the 3rd time this episode alone I said, man, I sure wish I had terraforming and I could just do it, but I haven't. Now we're like 45 minutes into this. It's a next episode thing now, but I do want to build this. I do think that's worth doing. So if I blast that, I only need to come in from one side. So that is fine. I'm not going to see that blasted out once they get all this other stuff taken care of. I'm going to just focus on getting this stuff taken care of because I know the rest of this is going to be just fine. But I know if they start building this, they're never going to do the rest of this while I'm actually sitting here looking at it. So all I need them to do is get this and this in place, then I can put them a staircase down there and they can build the rest, and then this is going to be its own can of worms. Maybe this works, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's another scenario where I just have to say, you know what? I just have to blast out, and that's the way it's going to be. Yeah, I think that's the way it's going to have to be. I guess I could have just made this all one continuous tunnel, but anyway. You know how it goes. Yeah, they can't actually get at this. That's going to be blasted out. I'm just going to have to... I guess I just have to time-lapse this again. I really don't know of a better way to actually accomplish anything than to just say, alright, well, now we got to do it, and I have to focus on not messing up by not talking during it. So I will catch you on the other side of this time-lapse after this is hopefully completed with no errors. Alright, this is taking way too long, so I can't time-lapse anymore. This is just going to be flashing sunrise, sunset kind of bits. But finally managed to get this set up the way that I wanted to with these windmills slightly buried in the ground. Is it overkill to have 2 large ones for just 2 smelters? Yes. However, the thinking behind that is that if the large windmills are both operating at full capacity, that's 600 HP, which is half again as much as we actually need so we can recharge the batteries. At some point, when it is necessary, I guess I could blast it down here to have extra capacity for the batteries, but I was trying to avoid that. Because if it's ugly, and it doesn't have to be, then it's ugly without having to be ugly. So, I know, just absolutely tremendous thinking on my part there. Let's go look at something else. I've been staring at that for 20 minutes in real time. I don't really love this, to be perfectly honest with you. But it works! So, cool. We are not making enough power. We also don't have enough beavers. I know that's absolutely a thing we need to deal with. But I'm thinking it was a smart idea to have these extra trees planted here. Oh, they can't reach all this. Huh. Maybe it wasn't a great idea to have these stairs turned that way. Yes. I'm so used to building with ladders, I know. The anti-mod purists are absolutely not a fan of ladders. But that's alright. Yeah, we still have garbage all over the ground. I don't just so much to do, so much to see, back streets, etc. They're never gonna pick this up. And like I can prioritize it all day long. But the fact of the matter is it's never gonna get picked up. Unless I spend all my time chasing this around. So we're just going to not. I know I need to have more housing. I need another at least 18 beavers. That's 3 of these or 2 of the triples. And I do want to kind of keep it concentrated here if I can. Just, not an ideal setup. Well, I suppose I probably could start making another housing complex. Now, we have this mess over here, and this is a mess. But it works. You know what they say, if it's a mess and it works. See, this is... Alright, I'm going to take this out. For lack of anything better, honestly, if I take triple lodge, it doesn't look terrible. I could do back-to-back with this. Then I would have the ability to do some decorative type stuff, or I could do none of that, depending on how we want to have this set up. Oh, it's kind of a... Without my half pieces, it's kind of difficult to get this set up the way I want to do it. I could also just do that again. That wasn't terrible. I didn't completely hate it. But I have to be able to get in. Which means I have to be able to have a path to go across here. And then I have to be able to get up to the top. And to go all the way around, not going to be easy. Well, I guess that depends on what else I'm trying to do up here. I guess I will, I guess I'll just do this. I don't really have anything else going on that I could possibly do. It doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look great. Yes, I know I could also just put more up here on top of this. That's honestly probably the smarter thing to do. But it's already here, so, you know, it's fine. We haven't done a dance hall yet. I haven't done mud pits. Those are 3x3. I did think about putting that up there, but that wasn't going to work. We need to do one of these too, these agoras, where they can breathe their green fumes. Whatever recreational activities they choose to do. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this, but I don't have any better ideas. So that is that's just gonna be what it's gonna be, folks. If you come up with something better, let me know. I am terrible at interpreting messages into visual stuff, so just keep that in mind. But I'm very curious to see your ideas. So that is going to just have to be what it's going to have to be. Progress, hardly. Okay, just leave that alone, I suppose. What else am I supposed to be able to do here? I've got these guys not even really able to keep up, but I don't know how much of that is cutting and how much of that is just for using materials irregularly. Do I have any space to put any more of these in? Not really. Doesn't seem like it. I do only have 5. This probably could justify having 7 or 8. I originally thought not, but you know how it goes. I guess... Tell you what. 28%, 9%. Okay, let's get rid of these trees. Let's make this a priority. Give this triple speed. It's already had triple speed. Okay. But I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take this out. Losing 2 of these trees I do not think is going to be a cataclysmic, world-changing event. But it'll allow me to get 2 additional lumberjack flags in here. And hopefully that is a worthwhile sacrifice for us to make. Come on, beavers. Get rid of those trees. It is very funny how it takes them longer to delete a tree than it does to just, normally cut it down. But that should help this out. I know I still don't have enough beavers. That's how it goes. And now we have a drought for the next 6 days, and I know we're not making enough power. Oh, we are super not making enough power. But look how fast that's going down. Okay, what can I pause reasonably? Oh, I saw this. I don't need that. Definitely don't need that. Now, if these buildings are paused or they are full, they are still going to be consuming. Actually, none of these are full. Got 1,500 gears. That's pretty good. Paper's not full either. Yeah, well, I just need more power. I need these windmills to generate additional power. That would be very nice if they would just generate additional power. But they won't. And then this mocks me. There's just... Oh. Well, there's your problem. Don't have any scrap metal. Okay. I could just demolish that and get some pieces back. I absolutely deserve this because I completely forgot. But I suppose, since I have this going over here, might as well just get this going. Me and my inability to remember what I've been doing here. So we do, yes, to get over here, we do have to have a regular path. And yes, we are going to build a zip line. I don't really have a great place to hook that up, but I can just put another one in. That is always allowed. That's not going to fit. That will fit, though. If I put that one there, then I have to put in a... What do you call it? They can build that from there. I'll move it a couple tiles over so it doesn't look quite so weird. And then this can just go right here. That will go there. That will go there. That, come on, click. Thank you. That'll go there. And then I have to have scavenger flags. I know I don't have enough beavers to do this, but I do absolutely have to have scrap metal to get all the rest of this done. Oh, it's like all I do is place buildings down that can't actually be built, and then don't understand why that's a problem. Dynamite, I can pause. Centrifuge, I can pause. Bad water pump, I can pause. Gets me a couple beavers back and decreases power consumption to a certain degree. We're going to run out of power in less than half a day. So 3 days with no juice. Not an enviable position in which to find ourselves. Yeah, I don't even know why I went over there. This is the new fun project, is getting all this taken care of. So you'll never guess what time it is. Except you probably will, because we've done this, like, what, 3 times now? It's time to time-lapse, getting more of this stuff situated. I don't know how long this video is going to be at this point, because it says an hour 17 minutes on OBS, but I did not keep track of how much time is being time-lapsed. So, who knows? Could be a short video, could be a longer one. But this is the last time-lapse we're going to do today. We're going to get this scrap metal situation kind of helped, kind of solved. And then we will hopefully be able to end this episode with the knowledge that our mine area over there is going to be up and running. And then when we come back to this on whatever day we come back to this on, I do not remember what it is. I think Tuesday? No, it's not Tuesday, it's Wednesday. Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, I think is the... who knows? The schedule's all messed up. It's fine. But anyway, we'll come out of the time lapse now, and then that'll be all she wrote. All right, finally, we now have a zip line between our third area with scrap metal and everything else. Simple, ugly interchange here, but it works. And they are still in the process of getting this mess figured out. But that's going to be nice once it's done. They are making together 188 HP each. That's not how together works. Yes, I know. I had to correct myself because these buildings aren't finished, so they're not actually sharing any power. But we do have, go all the way down here, we do have all of these underground things connected. So eventually, at some point, before the heat death of the universe, this will take care of itself. But I am beyond out of time for this episode, and I know there's so many more things we need to fix, so many deficiencies in so many ways. But that's going to have to wait till next episode. So I appreciate you guys watching these videos, giving me some helpful feedback. Constructive criticism, of course, always welcome. Never going to get mad that you are telling me I'm doing something wrong unless it's actually mean, so please don't be mean. But I do always welcome feedback. And I know there's plenty of stuff that we need to fix, so if you guys help me just keep honest about all that, then we're going to be in great shape. We're going to be just fine. And, of course, Spirit Boosters, you already know. If you don't, somehow, after, 1,400 videos, well, it hasn't been 1,400. Anyway, but you get the idea. Those are the folks that subsidize everything, make it possible for us to have a good time playing with the beavers on the internet and not have to hear about the same earbuds or frozen food or mattresses or whatever. We're just having a good time, and those folks make it possible. And then, you know, every once in a while when I have to take a day off for quote-unquote real-life obligations and all that other stuff, then I don't have to worry so much about the state of the channel if I miss an upload or if a series does poorly or whatever. Those folks just make it so much easier for us to do what we do, and I'm always going to be thankful for it. But it is beyond time, like I said, for this episode to be over. So whatever it is you're doing, have a fun and a safe rest of your day, and I'll look forward to seeing you back soon for more beavers. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.